ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So here in this portion of the Bhagavatam, continuing with the instructions of Kapila Muni to his mother Devahuti. So we've been seeing about the practice of the yoga system, specifically the process in line with the Ashtanga Yoga system. In the previous verse, few points were mentioned: ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, tapa, shaucha, swadhyaya and purusha archanam, worshipping the Supreme Lord along with many other things. So continuing with that, we see here nearly 6 points mentioned in this verse: mauna, sad asana, sthairya, pratyahara and manasa hridi. How these needs to be performed, and applying these principles in our practices for Krishna consciousness. How shall we be able to do all of these things, these instructions of Lord Kapila in our personal lives? Let us see. So we are completely aware that how in the modern day society, for all of us, these practices, to apply them as it is directly in our lives, it is almost impractical. Even 5,000 years ago, when Lord Krishna, in the Bhagavad Gita we find this, when he says, go to a secluded place, practice yoga system, sitting in a specific posture, with back and neck straight, with half closed eyes, meditate on the tip of the nose and certain things. Arjuna declined. And Krishna also told to control his mind. Arjuna says, my dear Lord, I may be able to control the wind, but I find it difficult to control the mind. So, there again, maybe in the conclusion of the Bhagavad Gita also we can find manmana bhavamad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru and sarvadharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. So how to apply those things? Srila Prabhupada has made it easier for us, following in the footsteps of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the 6 Goswamis. We apply all of these principles in our practice of devotional life also. So let us take one by one and try to understand. Which is the first one? Mauna. Mauna means silent. No talking, being silent. See, it is, we have seen how there are certain organizations, spiritual organizations they practice this even till today. I've heard of how people go there. They have a big organization, big campus, a lot of people staying there to strictly practice all of these things. And there are people who maybe for 7 days, 21 days, 60 days, they practice this mauna. So they are staying there in that campus and they have a tag in which it is written, I am in silence. So that other people can make out, they don't go and disturb them. And those people also, for maybe whatever that stipulated time, 21 days or 30 days, they won't speak to anyone. So they are practicing this. But according to the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, what does Srila Prabhupada tell us? How to practice mauna? Let us see. This is a portion from a lecture given by Srila Prabhupada in London. I will read out that. Therefore, sometimes in spiritual advancement, there is a process, maunam. Maunam means not to talk. Those who are too much foolish, the spiritual master orders him, don't talk, please remain silent. So those who are too much foolish, the guru or the spiritual master sometimes orders the disciple, don't talk, remain silent. That's all. Because if you talk, you will talk simply nonsense. Why should you spoil your energy by such nonsense talking? Better stop. The meditation is also like that. Instead of talking or doing nonsense, if one is remaining silent for some time, it is little good for him. But this meditation and maunam, silence, is not meant for the devotees. So those who are too foolish, they can't. So the spiritual master orders in certain way. But for devotees, no. Maunam is not recommended. Maunam, they are meant for the lesser intelligent class of men. Devotees' business is always to talk about Krishna. Why they should stop talking? Maunam. No. Kirtaniya sada harihi. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says this. Sada harihi. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that one has to chant and talk of Krishna 24 hours. Where is the question of maunam or silence? There is no question of silence. Silence is for those who are nonsense. Be silent, don't talk for them. At least they practice silence means at least they stop talking nonsense. But those who are actually advanced, for them there is no such restriction. Vacham se vaikuntha gunanu varnane. We should use our talking power for describing the glories of the Lord. So this is the application of maunam in Krishna consciousness. For less intelligent people who cannot otherwise be silent better than doing some nonsense, such instructions are given. Srila Prabhupada explains this through an example also. Small child doing lot of naughty things in the house, breaking some things, screaming, shouting and doing all sorts of such things. The mother will come and say, stop all of these things, remain silent, Maybe she may lock her in a room or something, trying to make her silent. Because if the child, if it is left in that way, creates lot of nuisance. But the same child, when it becomes a mature person, then she will be engaged in certain higher kind of constructive work. Then that child will not be told, simply remain silent, don't do anything. No. In that mature condition, that living entity, that child will be engaged in some higher constructive activities. Likewise, for some people, this may be required to remain silent, not to speak at all. But a devotee, understanding the higher principles of life, he knows there is a better engagement, trying to speak about the Supreme Lord, His activities, His instructions. In fact, this is the way devotees take the highest pleasure. Madchitta madgata prana bodayantaha parasparam katayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. By continuously being engaged in conversing with each others, by speaking about the Supreme Lord, katayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Devotees derive great happiness and pleasure in such activities. So this is the Maunam which Srila Prabhupada recommends devotees to speak about Krishna, following in the footsteps of Ambarisha Maharaja, Vachamsi Vaikuntha Gunanuvarnane, to glorify the Lord of Vaikuntha. This is the first one, Maunam. The second, Sad Asana Jayaha. Sat Asanam. Sat Asanam means to remain fixed in some posture, a yogic posture, different kinds of yogic postures. Again, recollecting the instructions from Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also says, as I told, Shuchau Deshe Pratisthapya, in a sanctified place, secluded place, with straight back, neck and head, with half closed eyes. All those postures are being mentioned. So now, here I have collected few verses from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. As devotees, are there some postures recommended for us? Is there something how we can apply these principles in our personal lives? Let us see. Few things are there. For example, the first one, 3 points I thought of describing. The first one, offering dandavats. So we come in front of the spiritual master, in front of the deities, we offer our respects. So I'll read out a few verses from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, wherein we find in the personal behavior of Mahaprabhu and his devotees, so that if we read these things, the daily activities, routine activities, what we'll be doing, we find it more encouraging. We become more enthusiastic in following our routine activities also. See, just like we are reading about different kinds of postures are supposed to be, a yogi should sit in certain postures. So we are also bhakti yogis. So what are the things recommended for us? Let us see, following in the footsteps of great acharyas. So here we see, let me see how many of you can recollect this pastime. Dandavat hayya se padila kata dure, sevaka kahe Raghunatha dandavat kare. So here we see who is offering Dandavat here? Raghunatha Dasa Goswami unto Nityananda Prabhu in Panihati. After all the difficulties, Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, he tries to come out of his house, but he was unsuccessful. But somehow, when he heard Nityananda Prabhu has come nearby, near to Saptagram, that is Panihati, so he takes permission from his father, along with many of his assistants. He comes, and from a distant place he sees Nityananda Prabhu sitting on a big rock under a tree, and he offers his Dandavat. So this is what is told by Nityananda Prabhu's servant, that see here, this is Raghunatha Dasa Goswami offering you Dandavats. Then another, Dui Guchha Trina Dunhe Dashana Dhariya Gale Vastra Bandhi Pade Dandavat Hayya. Holding blade of grass in their mouth, tying a cloth around their neck, they offered their Dandavats. Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami in Ramakeli, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the pretext of going to Vrindavana, nobody knew why Mahaprabhu has taken this direction, but Mahaprabhu comes to Ramakeli to deliver these two brothers. And when they came to know about Mahaprabhu's arrival in Ramakeli, night time they arrived there, because they were big ministers. The Nawab, if he comes to know some problems he may create, so they come and they offer their respects to Mahaprabhu in this way. Next, Aila Sakala Loka Sakshi Deki Bare Gopala Dekhaya Loka Dandavat Kare. Gopala and Sakshi. Yeah, Sakshi Gopala. When the young Brahmana, somehow through his sincere devotion, was successful in bringing the deity of Gopala, Lord Gopala, from Vrindavana all the way, he had come to Vidyanagara. And there he stood in the outskirts of the city, and Lord Gopala instructed this Brahmana, now I'll remain here, don't worry, you go to the village and inform all the people. So this young Brahmana went to the village, and specifically that elderly Brahmana and his son and all others, he told them that, see, you told me that you want a witness, that Gopala should come as witness for this marriage. He has come all the way from Vrindavana. And all the villagers, they were very much surprised, and everyone, they rushed to the outskirts of the city, and they were able to see the deity of Gopala there, and all of them offered their Dandavats. The last one more. This is from Madhavendra Puri. Aratrika Kari Kaila Bahuta Stavana Dandavat Kari Kaila Atma Samarpana. We see how Madhavendra Puri, after installing Gopala deity on top of Govardhan hill, the varieties of different kinds of services which were being offered to Lord Gopala, elaborate description is there, and at the end, like a list of all the activities from early morning till night, what all was done, all those descriptions are there, and at the end, night time, before putting the deities to rest, Madhavendra Puri, Aratrika Kari, Aarti was being offered, Bahuta Stavana, a lot of prayers were being offered, and all the people assembled there, Dandavat Kari Kaila Atma Samarpana. as a token of full surrender, full self-surrender, everyone offered their dandavats to the deity of Gopala. So this is how Krishna also says, Manmana bhavamad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Offer your obeisances unto me. So this is how great devotees in front of Mahaprabhu, in front of the deities, in front of the spiritual master, we offer our respects by dandavats. Then one more pastime I will tell you from Chaitanya Charitamrita, wherein this is about coming in front of the Lord and just folding the hands. We do that, at least in India. This culture is there. So here, the significance of just coming in front of the Lord and with folded hands, offering prayers to the Lord. There is a very beautiful pastime, and the significance of this is personally told by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is in the context when Jagannath Puri, the Rath Yatra festival, many devotees have come from Navadvipa, from Mayapur, from Kulina Grama, from Saptapagram. All those devotees along with Shivananda Sena, they have arrived in Jagannath Puri, and they stayed there for 4 months during the rainy season and participated in many festivals in Jagannath Puri. And after that, now they wanted to return to Navadvipa. Shri Krishna Balarama ki. So before returning to Navadvipa, each of them, they came in front of Mahaprabhu and they expressed their joy, and they offered their respects to Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also embraced them and spoke very nicely with each of them. So at one point of time, the devotees from Kulina Grama, they came forward to offer their respects to Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu was like at the time of bidding farewell to them. Kulina Gramire kahe sammana kariya pratyabda asibe yatraya patta dori laya. So Mahaprabhu, he says to the residents of Kulina Grama, you should come for Rath Yatra to Jagannath Puri every year, and while coming you should bring patta dori, that is silken ropes, which are used for during the Rath Yatra. So you should bring them. This was the order given by Mahaprabhu to the residents of Kulina Grama. And then he says, Gunaraja Khana Kaila Shri Krishna Vijaya Tahan Eka Vakya Tanra Ache Premamaya. So you have read the book written by Gunaraja Khana by the name Shri Krishna Vijaya. There in that book, there is one sentence which expresses the ecstatic love which Gunaraja Khana had towards Lord Krishna. Which is that verse? That verse is Eka bhave vanda hari yoda kari hata Nanda Nandana Krishna Mora Prananatha. So this is one statement found in the book Shri Krishna Vijaya by Gunaraja Khana, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remembered, he appreciated, and he says this shows the ecstatic love what Gunaraja Khana had. This verse is, with folded hands I offer my prayers unto Krishna, Nanda Maharaja's son, who is my life and soul. Mahaprabhu says, Nanda Nandana Krishna Mora Prananatha E vakye vikainutara vamshera hata. Translation: Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaja, is my life and soul. By this statement, I am sold into the hands of the descendants of Gunaraja Khana. Just because Gunaraja Khana has offered his prayers in this way, with folded hands, my dear Krishna, you are my life and soul. Just for this statement which has come out of the mouth of Gunaraja Khana, Mahaprabhu says, I am sold to the descendants of their family. So this is the specific importance which Mahaprabhu attributes for this verse, for the ecstatic love which Gunaraja Khana had. The meaning is, with folded hands I offer my prayers unto Krishna, Nanda Maharaja's son, who is my life and soul. This is one thing. The next one. Anyone can guess one more thing which devotees we do in our daily routine, whatever activities. We offer our dandavas with folded hands, we pray to the Lord. And one more? Dancing. Raising the hands. Yeah, dancing and raising our hands. Let us see a few specific pastimes from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Two instructions, specific instructions, 2 times by Krishnadasa Kaviraja Goswami. In one place he says, Ata eva punah kahon urdva baho hayya Chaitanya Nityananda bhaja kutarka chadiya. Give up all kinds of kutarka, whatever mental, intellectual adjustments and all, with hands raised up. I simply call out to you and say, Bhaja Chaitanya Nityananda. Simply worship Chaitanya and Nityananda. Then, in another place, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Urdva bahu kari kahon shuna sarvaloka nama sutre ganthi para kanthe eishloka. Put this shloka as a pendant, making the nama or Hare Krishna mantra, putting on your neck. Put this verse on your neck, he says. Which is that verse? Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadaharihi. For continuous remembrance, write this shloka and put it on your neck. This is what. And how is he telling? Urdva bahu kari kahon. Raising both my hands up, I request all the devotees. Then, I'll read the translation of that. Raising my hands, I declare, everyone please hear me, string this verse on the thread of the holy name and wear it on your neck for continuous remembrance. Then, another nice pastime during the visit of South India, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during his South India tour, wherever he went, he was able to make all of them into devotees. And let us see this one beautiful verse here. Darshane Vaishnava Haila Bale Krishna Hari Prema Veshe Nache Loka Urdva Bahu Kari. Just by seeing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everyone became a devotee. They began to chant Krishna and Hari and all the holy names. They all were merged in a great ecstasy of love and they began to dance, raising their arms. Urdva Bahu Kari Nache Loka. All the people somehow were able to come in touch with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during his South India visit. They all became devotees, and in ecstasy they were singing, chanting, dancing, raising their hands. Next, this is during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's visit to Vrindavana. There, in the association of that Sanodia Brahmana, Rajaputa Krishnadasa, and all of them, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was like say about to leave Vrindavana, this pastime took place. There it is said, Hunkara kariya uthe bale hari hari, prema veshe nritya kare urdhva bahu kari. Coming to his senses, the Lord very loudly began chanting the holy name, Hari, Hari. The Lord raised his arms upward and began to dance in ecstatic love. So again in Vrindavan also Mahaprabhu, when he went, raising his hands, he was chanting and dancing there in Vrindavana. Then, when Mahaprabhu came to Varanasi, in the temple of Bindu Madhava, there even Rupa Goswami was there. There from a distant place, they were just observing the activities of Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami and his brother Anupama. From far they offered their dandavats. Lot of people, they were there along with Mahaprabhu. And from a distant place, Rupa Goswami was observing all the activities of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And there, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered the temple of Bindu Madhava, there, Prema Veshe Nache Prabhu Hari Dhvani Kari, Urdhva Bahu Kari Bale, Bala Hari Hari. The Lord was loudly chanting the holy name of Hari, dancing in ecstatic love and raising his arms. He asked everyone to chant Hari, Hari. So thousands of people had gathered there, and Mahaprabhu, raising his own hands, encouraged everyone to chant the Hare Krishna mantra and raising their hands and to dance in ecstasy. And then last one, this is, okay, first let me read the verse. Kampa pulakashru haila Krishna nama gaya, urdhva bahu nritya kare vastra udaya. So, becoming very ecstatic, this devotee, he chanted the holy names of Krishna, raising his hands, he started dancing and taking out his upper garment, he started waving it around in great ecstasy. This devotee, he was Mrigari. Mrigari, who was killing animals, half killing animals and taking pleasure and seeing them suffer. That Mrigari, after he came in touch with Narada Muni and taking the instructions from him, and he built a cottage in the forest, chanting the holy names of the Lord. He stopped killing animals, and after many days, Narada Muni along with his friend Parvata Muni, they came to see what this devotee Mrigari he is doing. So when Narada Muni and Parvata Muni comes there, this Mrigari, he from a distant place, he sees them and runs towards them, and while offering respects to them, he sees some ants there. So he was hesitant to kill those ants. So he took his cloth and put them aside, and then he offered his respects, brought both of them into his cottage, made them sit, and he washed their feet, and he, along with all of his family members, drank the water and sprinkled the water on their heads. When this was done, Mrigari became very ecstatic, and this is what it is said. कंप पुलकाश्रु हैला कृष्ण नाम गाय ऊर्ध्व बाहु नृत्य करे वस्त्र उड़ाय. Murugari became very ecstatic. With upraised hands, he started chanting and dancing, looking at his spiritual master, Narada Muni. So, this is how, following in the footsteps of devotees, great devotees, we also practice all of this mauna, and these are the asanas, which are whatever devotees which we perform. And all of these things intended towards stairya, because Prabhupada says in the purport that the yogic practices in general and Hatha Yoga in particular are not ends in themselves. They are means to the end of attaining steadiness. So all of us devotees, we have this objective goal to reach the higher stages. Adau Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, finally to attain Krishna Prema. So this stage of Nishtha we have to cross. Devotees have to become steady, because it's usual. Sometimes we will be very much enthusiastic in Sattva Guna, and sometimes we may lose our enthusiasm, and all of these ups and downs will be there. So here we see Kapila Muni recommending different things. The ultimate object of all of those Ashtanga Yoga practices, here Prabhupada says, to make one's mind steady. So devotees should also have this objective through all of our activities, devotional activities, what we perform, to come to this platform of steadiness or stairya. So stairyam prana jayashanai pratyaharaschendriyana. Pratyahara means abstaining the senses from going towards sense objects and restraining them. So the best example we find in the Bhagavad Gita itself. Kurma, the example of a tortoise. How a tortoise, when required, hands, legs, head, everything, it nicely swims in the water, everything it does. If it finds anything, some danger, immediately it will withdraw its senses. So likewise, a devotee, he is not inactive, but he, whenever it is required, whenever there is opportunity to serve the Supreme Lord, he is fully active. All his senses he will utilize in the service of the Lord. But when it is not required, he is fully competent to withdraw them, not allowing them to go towards sense objects. This is Pratyahara. And Vishayan Manasa Hridi. Manasa Hridi means concentrate the mind on the heart, because heart is the region where the Lord resides as the super soul, as Paramatma. And how to focus the mind on the Supreme Lord, how specifically it needs to be done, we'll be finding that in the future verses. So we'll end with this. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki